I'm pretty sure most Finnish people would agree with me if I said that there's a bunch of things that only Finnish people do and think is normal. Because I think there's a bunch of things that only Finnish people do and think is normal. Somebody should make a video out of that. Somebody should make a video about things only Finnish people do and think is normal. I'll react to it. I'll react to it. But welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to 20 things only Americans do and think it's normal. Let's see if these things are not normal to me.
Good call on these outfits, dude.
It's the only call. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 things only Americans do.
We get a ton of shit.
For this list, we're looking at common beliefs and practices in the United States. They don't need to be exclusively American, just something that Americans are known for. If there's something uniquely American that didn't make our list, unite in the comments to state your picks. Number 20, refer to the USA as America. Outside of the United States of America, referring to the country as America is much less commonplace. After all, there are two entire continents called America, comprising like 35 distinct nations. Referring to only one country on one of those continents as America too is really confusing for anyone who doesn't live there.
From this day forward, it's going to be only.
I get this, guys. I get it. And actually, it's true. But, I don't know. I think in Finland we say America. Yeah, it's America. I say America, but that just might come from the Finnish language. I don't know. My European people, what do you say? Do you say USA or America?
Only America first. America first.
Calling it the US, USA, the United States, or just the States is much more common in the rest of the world. Even so,
Could be.
everyone still calls its residents Americans, which isn't confusing at all.
You can't say it, but you know it's true.
Number 19, throw gender reveal parties. Cultures the world over have traditions to prepare expecting parents and celebrate the expected birth of a child.
Thank you so much for throwing me this baby shower, girls. I feel so...
If I ever have a baby, I do want to throw a baby shower. But yeah, it's true. I haven't seen anyone do it, honestly, in Finland. And if they do, they got the idea from America, you know? Because now that social media is such a thing and we see baby showers, more people do it. But this is actually true. It's not like a thing in Europe, I wouldn't say. But I do want to throw one if I ever have a baby, which I don't know if I will, but who knows? I mean, life is unpredictable. But not in a long time, though. Please, no.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Of course!
However, Americans have really taken the concept and run with it. An entire industry has been built around baby showers, as well as their modern relatives' gender reveal parties. Emerging in the 2000s, the latter have become infamous for sometimes absurd levels of showmanship. Some over-the-top reveals have been responsible for injuries and even disasters. They remain somewhat controversial, with many people, including Americans, not really getting why they're often made into such big deals.
I don't know why, but I'm like gonna cry.
Oh my gosh, why are you gonna cry?
Because I'm just really happy for you.
You look like it. You look like you're happy.
Number 18, experience huge bathroom
I mean, the Kardashians make a big deal out of everything.
stall gaps.
Right this way, sir.
Number 18, experience huge bathroom stall gaps.
Right this way, sir.
Oh, God.
Every country's restrooms have their own quirks, like different sinks and toilet bowls. The US is known for having a high volume of water in their bowls
Why?
and large gaps in their bathroom stalls.
Why?
Both
I would be scared to, do my business in one of these because look at how much space there is. Like, you can barely see, whoever is sitting on there. And then the gaps on the doors too, like no privacy. I don't get this. Someone said it's for security measures, but like, you can just open the door. how is that for security measures? Like, what can possibly happen that you have to go from below?
Under the door and between the door and the walls. Visitors can be taken aback at the lack of privacy. Some hold that they're designed for easy cleaning or construction. Others that it allows one to check which stalls are occupied, although occupancy indicators on the locks can do that too.
Maybe so you can see if there's someone in there.
Isn't that why we have locks on the doors?
Well, as a backup system, in case a lock is broken, you can see if it's taken.
A backup system?
It might also make it more difficult to get up to no good in there. Whatever the case, public bathrooms in the US are built for speed, not comfort.
Would you just sit down and go to the bathroom already?
Number 17, have pharmacies that sell groceries. In most of the world, pharmacies sell exactly what their name implies, pharmaceuticals. While you will see tangentially related items like grooming products or hygienic things like toothbrushes, pharmacies don't usually carry food or toys. But in the
I actually I didn't believe this is a thing, but apparently it is. I don't understand how a pharmacy could have groceries. Just the two things don't go together in my brain.
US, that's much more common. The country is all about the all-in-one experience. Not only will dedicated grocery stores have pharmacies built in, but pharmacies will also carry groceries. Granted, the selection isn't always great, but if you're desperate for milk and the grocery store is closed or you just don't feel like crossing the street to get there, you can get some. While most of the world still limits drugstores to drugs and self-care products, we have a feeling this one might catch on. Number 16, vote before they can drink. Worldwide, the age at which a person can legally drink alcohol is most commonly 18. The age usually considered to be adulthood, though it is even earlier in some countries. The voting age on a global scale is also generally 18, for similar reasons, although of course there are exceptions.
The Voting Rights Act of 1970 lowered the voting age to 18 for national elections, and the 26th Amendment made the change to 18 permanent for all elections.
And 18 is where it has stayed for the past 50 years.
However, the United States requires young adults to wait 3 years after being able to vote before legally being allowed to drink at 21. This was enacted during the 1980s to prevent alcohol-related driving accidents.
This law has been an abysmal failure. It hasn't reduced or eliminated drinking. It has simply driven it underground, behind closed doors, into the most risky and least manageable of settings.
While it
He kind of has a point there. But yeah, I think this is it's good that 18-year-olds can vote. I don't think that their thoughts would be so unhinged or I think 18-year-olds it's mature enough to understand and to make a vote.
helped in the short term, ultimately it hasn't really stopped teenagers from drinking. The result is that many people, both inside and outside the US, question the logic of why an 18-year-old American can decide who forms the government but not get buzzed.
The reality is everyone drinks before they turn 21. That's why when you go out for your first legal drink, you have to react with that faux surprise like you've never heard of alcohol before. Ooh, what does this alcohol taste like? Oh, it's unusual. Oh, this is true.
Number 15, get free refills.
I was a very rebellious child, so I started drinking at a very early age. Sadly, well, I don't know sadly, but sometimes I'm glad that I went through those years when I was younger, because now I'm so peaceful and calm. Now I just want to chill at home with my dog, and I don't really do outings. I don't really go to parties or anything, which is nice, honestly. I've been through that. I've been through it. I don't need to go through it again. So, I don't see that as a bad thing, but I don't know, 21 I think is a bit too it's late. I don't get why they would put the law to 21, because if you travel to Europe, you can drink here, right? Even if you're under 21. This doesn't make much sense to me, but okay.
The biggest differences between American restaurants and the rest of the world are their drink services. Most American and many Canadian restaurants and other establishments will offer at least one free refill of a non-alcoholic drink.
Refill.
I'm jealous.
Free!
Where is it going?
The idea is that because of the low cost of drinks, particularly fountain soft drinks, offering a refill won't hurt the establishment's bottom line, particularly if drinks are not the primary source of income. However, the idea has been slow to catch on in the rest of the world, and it's nowhere near as consistently offered. Some countries have raised concern that a practice like this can lead to an increase in obesity. Number 14.
Come on, you just want a little dollar for the drink. I get it. I think this was a thing in Finland before. I remember as a child that we would have free refills, but we don't anymore. That's for sure. Or maybe some places do, but you know, like that's not typical. And here in Spain, never seen that. Honestly, never.
Tip service personnel.
All right, everybody cough up some green for the little lady. Come on, throw in a buck.
I don't tip.
You don't tip?
No, I don't believe in it.
While the concept of tipping waitstaff or other people in the service industry is known worldwide, few countries have embraced the concept to the degree the U.S. has.
Labor movements declare the practice undemocratic, and anti-tipping legislation was enacted across several states. But restaurants and rail operators like the Pullman Company embraced tipping because it allowed them, among other things, to hire recently freed slaves without having to pay them.
Many workers, particularly in the restaurant industry, rely on gratuities to get by, in part because laws allow managers to pay sub-minimum wages to tipped workers. However, in various other countries, tipping is seen as insulting. They're just doing their jobs, after all.
Each year, Americans spend $40 billion on tips. That's more than we spend on foreign aid and more than we spend on gambling. And like gambling, it's not entirely clear that tipping makes any sense in the first place.
While some countries' workers certainly
I don't know if it's saying that, like, because, you know, I tip always. And it's very typical here as well. What countries is it, like, frowned upon, though? I wouldn't, like,
appreciate it, it isn't expected like it is in the US. Mostly because employees are paid a high enough baseline salary that they don't need tips to survive.
Restaurant owners still pay their servers less than minimum wage, turning what used to be a bribe into an obligation that makes the end of every meal suck.
Number 13.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Maybe in Finland or, like, countries like that, yeah, maybe. But at least, like, here in Spain, a tip can be, like, the difference of the month for the worker, so. But yeah, okay.
American military is probably the best in the world, as it should be, since it's also one of the best funded militaries in the world. In fact, the US spends several times more on their military than their nearest competitor, China. What's more, there are more than a few American citizens who have a higher than average fascination with their own military and its culture.
I thank you as your commander-in-chief because you inspire me. Your willingness to serve, to step forward at a time of war and say, send me, is the reason the United States stays strong and free.
While other countries certainly appreciate their troops, you don't, see as many people wearing camouflage as a legitimate fashion statement. Likewise, you don't see movies made elsewhere that glorify the military to the degree that the US does.
Do me a favor. Tell my children I love them very much. All right, you alien assholes! In the words of my generation!
I haven't seen, like, many war movies from America, honestly. I've seen some Finnish ones. I mean, there are some really good Finnish war movies and, like, history movies. But yeah, no, like, it's not talked about as much, I wouldn't say. It's just so, also it's very typical in Finland, because in Finland I don't know if this is in America, someone let me know in the comments below, but in Finland you need to go to the military, like it's an obligation as a man to go and do at least 6 months, I think. As a woman, obviously you don't need to go, but you can go if you want to. And so it's like a respected thing. And especially if you decide to be there for longer or go like and be in the air forces or in the what are the ones called that are go in boats in English. I don't know what this in English. But yeah, so it's very respected, but definitely like not as glorified as in America. You know? Like I've heard the sentence "thank you for your service" loads of times, but I don't think like in Finland you would say that, you know? I mean, obviously you would show your respect to them. I don't mean it like that, but you know, like it's different.
Part of the American enthusiasm is certainly rooted in patriotism. Still, it may also be a reaction to an increasingly anti-military sentiment that has popped up over the last several decades.
No war, okay? No war, okay? Oh, here you go, boys. These will help you protest. It's good to see that you care about peace, boys, okay?
Number 12, use red plastic cups. If you've ever seen an American movie where a college party happens, chances are you've seen characters drinking from red cups. These red plastic or solo cups are everywhere in the US. The cheap drinking containers are a favorite at parties, both for their durability and their ease of use in party games. While they're also handy for crafts or gardening, they're most famous for their intended purpose. However, the rest of the world either doesn't have the United States party culture's emphasis on kegs or lacks the same distinctive cups, originally manufactured by the Solo Cup Company. At most, you might see them at a novelty American-themed party. Number 11, where...
No, but I wouldn't like if someone was to ask me where I can get red cups here, I wouldn't know where you would have to go. Like you'd probably have to go to another city to get them from some like specific store or buy them online because they're just not a thing here.
Shoes inside. Taking off your shoes before you enter a home, or at least in the entryway, is pretty common etiquette in many countries.
Don't do that. Why'd you take your shoes off? So I don't break your nose.
And while many Americans do prefer to keep footwear off their floors, it isn't a hard and fast rule like it is in other places. Often it will depend on whether the person has carpeted floors or hardwood floors, with the latter considered easier to clean. Since it's not considered the norm though, asking guests to take off their shoes indoors can come across as rude or fussy, and so is often avoided. Number 10, eat peanut butter as their go-to.
See, in Finland, you take your shoes off when you go inside always. But they also have like wooden floors that probably will get destroyed easier if you have your shoes on. You know, the floors are just different. I was thinking it's probably for that reason and also to keep the house clean. But here in Spain, we do use our shoes indoors, but also the floor is made of like usually from marble or stone or something like that, so it's a bit different, you know. It's not as like comfy to not have shoes on than to have them. Yes, but in Finland though, and I honestly prefer to take like houses where you take your shoes off when you come inside. I just feel like it's more hygienic and like clean, you know. But I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind the Spanish thing neither. I don't really have a preference. But if, you know, in my home, no shoes. It's just way more comfortable. I mean.
To spread. Peanuts are grown and eaten in many parts of the world. But it's the United States and Canada that do most of the peanut butter eating.
Peanut butter man now, eh, sir?
Yes, I believe I am. I thoroughly enjoy this peanut butter.
A lot of countries see it as a niche or even unpleasant taste. Others have a spread that is more culturally ingrained, like Nutella. The USA cannot get enough of peanut butter though, consuming over 1 billion pounds of it annually. January 24th is even National Peanut Butter Day.
I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but I tried peanut butter, I think last year for the first time. I don't know, I was expecting it to taste like caramel, like something like buttery caramel. I don't know why, but then I tried it and it tasted like peanut butter. Like it tasted like peanut butter, which obviously should have been like a no-brainer for me, but I've never tasted anything like it before. I know, but it wasn't for me. I didn't like it at all. I can learn to like it for sure, but like I think it was more of the disappointment of the moment, because I thought it was gonna be like sweet caramel, like chocolatey. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I tried it and I was like, ooh.
A cheap source of protein that most American children grow up eating, so it's no wonder that it's a comfort food for many of them. Number 9, work too much. Americans are workaholics, at least compared to basically every other country in the world. The majority of Americans work more than 40 hours a week.
Why do we do this to ourselves? Well, the conventional answer is that this attitude towards work makes the American economy the envy of the world. America is a hectic, turbocharged system that builds, destroys, rebuilds, all at warp speed.
They also tend to lack many of the things the rest of the world takes for granted, like paid holidays, as well as sick and parental leave. Research has shown that happier, less stressed workers do better at their jobs. Iceland even recently tried a 4-day work week that proved wildly successful.
There's lots of other benefits to a 4-day working week. It's not just the it's not just the mental health and economy, good for the economy. It's also environmental benefits too. Evidence looks like when we're commuting less as a result of a 4-day week, that brings down emissions. Also, energy consumption goes down. So this is a policy that's win-win for the environment, for workers, for employers. What's not to like about it?
That's a pretty good way to put it. I was about to say something and then I just completely forgot what I was about to say. About the 40-hour weeks. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember. I was about to say that if America works way more than like the typical people, because we don't do that. Honestly, in Finland, they're very strict about like workers having their holidays and workers having sufficient rest while they're working. And if you work like so much, I think the work environment must be like better in America too. Like there must be something to compensate for the work hours, right?
European countries take long breaks for lunch. While the American drive is admirable, grind culture becomes problematic when it costs workers their mental health and well-being. Number 8, make small talk with strangers. Americans are known for their friendliness towards strangers, especially outside of big cities. It's not uncommon for Americans to smile at each other in passing, but their comfort with new people also extends to small talk, saying hello or even striking up a conversation out of the blue.
If you are seated in an emergency exit row, and feel you would be unable or unwilling to perform the duties listed on the safety card, please ask a flight attendant to reseat you.
In many countries, speaking to strangers unprompted can be seen as intrusive or even risky. Many Americans are masters of the art, though, often happy to chat with people they've never met about the weather, sports, or whatever else comes up in conversation.
I'm honestly like more American in this way. I'm not American like at all. My nationality is not American. My origin is not American, but I am more of like a small talk. Like I would feel awkward if I didn't. For example, if I was in the elevator with someone, I would feel awkward if I didn't start up a conversation. Usually, I'll be like, if they have a dog, I'm like, oh, what a cute dog, something typical, or like, oh, it's so hot outside, something normal. But in Finland, you don't do that at all. Like, I'm Finnish, but don't get me wrong, I'm like a weird Finlander. I'm a weird Finn, because no, in Finland you don't do that. You don't do small talk. You don't talk to strangers. That's weird. If you smile at a stranger, you're probably on something. That's just no.
It's like a carrot, honey.
What looks like a carrot? Hi.
Number 7, casually own guns. In many countries, gun laws are strict and gun ownership is relatively rare. In the US, gun ownership is protected by the Second Amendment, and gun ownership is the highest in the world. Despite making up 4% of the global population, Americans own 46% of civilian-held firearms. There's a distinct gun culture, where gun ownership is celebrated or at least seen as important for personal safety. Most states even allow you to open carry.
But it's a lucky thing I had my pieces.
Your pieces.
My guns.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
Of course, the issue is extremely divisive due to the country's high rate of gun deaths. Either way, the idea of having so many guns around is a novel one for many visitors.
Guns. Lots.
Yeah, I mean, I just heard on the news or somewhere, like on the internet, that there's a college now that allows guns in the school, which to me honestly is crazy. Like I don't understand, what do you mean for your own safety? I mean, if nobody owned guns, then you wouldn't need a gun to be safe. And also, if you use the gun for your safety, you go to jail. So I don't really understand it. I respect it, and I think it's nice that people have like that sort of, like, how would you say it? I wouldn't say comfort, but like, they can choose to have or not to have, because we don't even get a choice most times. I mean, it's just not normal here at all. I mean, if you're not like someone who hunts as a job, or you don't do it as a hobby or something like that, it's very, very, very rare to have a gun here in Spain. I mean, yeah, some people do, and in Finland a lot of people hunt, so they might have one, but like, it's not just like a regular thing you have around your house.
Number 6, put sales tax on everything.
Sales tax is paid when you buy something, and the business you purchased your goods from sends that money to the government. There are 2 types of sales tax: general sales tax and excise taxes. General sales tax is a tax levied on most goods you buy. Excise taxes are taxes levied only on certain items.
Most countries enact a value-added tax, or VAT, on goods or services purchased within their borders. These taxes are collected from every person in the supply chain, from the distributors to the consumers. The United States is one of the few to use sales tax, which not only vary wildly from state to state, but are only enacted after a purchase has been made.
The state treasury depends on sales taxes to pay for road repairs, education, and medical care for children, seniors, and the poor.
They're also not listed in the initial price, which can leave foreign visitors and many Americans scratching their head as to why they're being charged more.
I saw this on another video too, and one of my subscribers explained it super well in the comments, but it's still just crazy to me that you don't know like how much money your purchase is gonna be because you don't know the tax. That's just weird.
More than the price on the product. Better or worse? You decide. It's certainly more confusing.
What's the advice then? If you're going to buy a big ticket item, where's the cheapest sales tax?
Well, you can go online and look at all the sales tax rates for different cities, and if you look at one dealership or one, Best Buy or something like that, you can find the different zip codes and look at the sales tax rates and just see how much that'll take off, and then take your family out for a nice night.
There you go.
Number 5, recite a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
In many parts of the United States, school children, and adults in some settings, are expected to recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Back then in
This is where my English vocabulary stops. What is allegiance?
1892, when it was written by Francis Bellamy. Bellamy was a Baptist minister, and in conjunction with a magazine called The Youth's Companion, he wrote this, at that time, 23-word Pledge of Allegiance.
This is an expression that they will be loyal to the USA, and is usually performed daily while looking at the nation's flag, which you will find hanging everywhere, by the way. This isn't something other countries do. They might
daily? I would forget most likely, because I forget most important things. Daily is all. I thought that's like a thing you do once. That's why I'm like, what? But that's really cool. I really like that. I think that's like showing your appreciation and your commitment to your country. I think that's pretty nice. But yeah, that's like, I have never heard of this before.
salute or respect their flag and country, but to make school children recite an oath to the country, The pledge has been the subject of plenty of controversy within the US too, particularly since it mentions God. While some schools no longer require it, it remains a widespread practice.
Bottom line is, we all look different, sound different, but we are all on the same team.
Number 4. Watch ads for prescription drugs. Aside from New Zealand, the United States is the only country in the world that advertises prescription drugs directly to consumers. Every day, Americans are bombarded with ads for prescription medications, featuring generic, pleasing imagery and a list of side effects longer than a flagpole.
Side effects may include upper respiratory infection, stuffy or runny nose, and sore throat and headache.
Many people, Americans included, are baffled by the practice, as doctors and not patients are meant to decide what drugs to prescribe. Proponents claim that advertising increases competition and lowers drug costs.
Hold on. Oh my god, I didn't notice. I saw this on a video too, but prescription drugs? Like prescribed drugs? Why would they advertise that? Like, if you can't even get it, if it's not prescribed to you? Okay, yeah, that makes no sense. That makes no sense, because I've seen like medications being advertised, for example, in Finland, but they definitely are not like prescription drugs. Isn't prescription drugs when you get prescribed a medication? So that's confusing.
Meanwhile, prescription drugs are typically far more expensive in the United States, as the US doesn't regulate or negotiate drug prices. Number 3, put months before days. Most of humanity marks calendar dates as being day first, then month, then year.
It's the date. Assuming the first two numbers are some big old space date, then you've got year, month, day. It's the other way around like it is in America.
Or else the opposite, as year, month, then day. The reasoning is that you can go from the shortest value to the longest or vice versa. Yet the United States and parts of Canada eschew both these formats by putting the month first, then day, then year. The US has been using this format basically since its founding, although it has used the day first format interchangeably too.
See, to me, like day, month, year just makes sense because it's day, the smallest thing, today, then the month we're in, and then the year we're in. You know, it goes like from small to big. Month, day, year just doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Why would you state the month first? Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, and it always confuses me when I see it.
Exact reason why is debatable, but as far as practicality goes, it can be useful when filling out forms to know which month it is before which day or year. Number 2, go bankrupt from healthcare. Medical costs are the cause of over 60% of all bankruptcies in the United States.
In 2017, 1/3 of the money raised on GoFundMe went towards medical campaigns. And the site raises $650 million a year for more than 250,000 medical campaigns.
Americans experience a variety of unexpected charges while getting much-needed care, from surprise bills to being charged for riding in an ambulance.
According to one study,
that is just crazy to me. I made a video also reacting to a video of the prices. Well, actually, British people reacting to the prices of American healthcare. And I was shocked. You have to pay for going in the ambulance. That's just insane.
71% of all ambulance providers do not take the patient's insurance. That same study found that 79% of patients who took an ambulance could get a surprise bill, with an average total around $450.
In some parts of the civilized world, even seeing a medical bill can be an uncommon occurrence. Healthcare worldwide tends to be much more regulated than it is in the US. It's either funded through taxes in a single-payer system or else through individual insurers who are more strictly monitored.
Other countries, they don't have this problem. Instead of every private insurance company negotiating with every healthcare provider, there's just this big list. Country, the central government, they go and they say, if you want to sell to us, to all of our people, then here's what you can charge for a checkup. Here's what you can charge for an MRI or a prescription for Lipitor.
Bottom line, while there can sometimes be extra charges, for most of the world, medical debt is basically unheard of, except in horror stories about the US.
Can't get a credit card. I can't buy a house. I don't see me ever being out of debt.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring.
That's another thing. I mean, a lot of American people have a lot of debt, and that's like normal there. I think it's like normal to take a loan in Finland too and in other countries, but debt is a little bit more frowned upon, I think, in my culture. Might not be. I mean, might just be my family who's like, don't be in debt. But I've always been taught that like I can't loan money, which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've like, I've never been in debt. Like the most I've been in debt for is like a 10 euros, like $10, to a friend because I needed it for something. But like credit cards and stuff like that, I don't know if it's just me. Let me know. Should I be taking loans? I mean, it's hard to progress in life, especially in this economy, if you don't take loans. I'm like, but it's just a thing that's like not something that I was taught.
Can you explain to me?
Yes.
How the country that can send men and hopefully women to the moon,
Yeah, all and beyond.
still are in gallons and inches.
Mm.
And when the entire world is metric, I do not understand this.
There are 3 countries in the world that don't use the metric system: Myanmar, Liberia, and the United States. Objectively, metric is the less arbitrary measurement system since everything goes by tens. Even Britain and Commonwealth countries have converted.
The point is, the US system has always been a little more accessible than metric. Sure, stacking up 12 thumb widths to make a foot, that's still kind of weird, but it's not so weird that we're clamoring to change it.
Although admittedly, they do still use measurements like feet and inches casually.
So now I can't ask a distance when I visit another country. I'm like, how far is that? They're like, that's 500 kilometers. I'm not in the Olympics.
So why hasn't the US converted? We'll give you one guess. Did you say it's because of money? Because money is definitely a big factor.
How does money have to do with that? First of all, and second of all, that confuses me so much. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. What is a mile? What is a foot? Like, it's just something that like I've had to convert foots to like centimeters and miles to kilometers or whatever, but I've never understood it, and it's so confusing. Isn't it so much easier to just be like 1 meter it's just and then 10 meters is, no, 1,000 meters is a kilometer, and so on. I'm not sure I understand meters neither.
Converting to a whole new system of measurement is expensive. Other factors include a need for control and stability of the US. So, inertia, basically. Why change when you don't need to? And you know what your mom says? If all the other countries jumped off a bridge, would the US do it too? Or something like that.
A 2015 Rasmussen poll asked Americans if we should switch to the metric system and adopt Celsius as our main temperature scale. 64% said no, while 21% said yes, and the remaining 15% was undecided. So it looks like we're perfectly fine with being different.
I mean, that makes sense though, because they're probably like, you're probably used to that, so why would you change? Like, if someone asked me now if I wanted to change euros to dollars, I would say no too, not because I have anything in like, how do you say it? Not because I have like any beef with the dollar, but because I'm used to euro.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo.
Yeah, I think the most like surprising to me is also like this one. The measurement is just weird. It's a weird way to measure. I just don't, it's just, I can't wrap my head around it. I don't understand it. And I don't think, even if someone like explained to me what an inch is and what a foot is, I don't think it's something that I can learn, because it's just, it's confusing. It's confusing. And also, someone tell me, what type of groceries can you get from the pharmacy? Because why? There's grocery stores. But I mean, that's easy. That's easier. If you can get groceries from the pharmacy, I wouldn't mind, honestly. I wouldn't have to go to 2 stores. I would just have to go to the pharmacy. So I'm not against that at all. But hey, thank you for joining me for this video. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.